everyone. Welcome to the Pikeville City Manager's Report. I'm Jill Furley-Dotson, your host for today's show, as always, along with Pikeville City Manager Philip Elswick.
Hey, Jill.
How are you?
I'm good.
We have so much to get to. We're in the summer season now, and we talk all the time when, it seems like when June hits, everything takes off, and certainly this month is no exception. But we had a big announcement recently, just a couple of days ago within the city that I know you're excited to talk about.
Absolutely. We announced the renaming of the East Kentucky Expo Center to Appalachian Wireless Arena. And Appalachian Wireless had previously been our box office sponsor, and now Community Trust Bank has taken on that role. So we're really glad to be in a partnership with both of those companies, both established Eastern Kentucky companies, well known throughout the region. And as Paul Bowles said at the press conference, having a name on your building like that indicates buy-in from the community and makes that more attractive to promoters and concerts as they look at your facility.
He did. He talked extensively about how much more appealing it would be to have the Appalachian Wireless name on the Appalachian Wireless Arena,
Absolutely.
obviously, and certainly with Community Trust Bank and their partnership now, it's going to be a perfect marriage of everybody working together, but really bringing in people to the city of Pikeville and to our region is key for everyone.
Absolutely. The arena it's key to our economic development. And not just from a tourism standpoint, but even from industrial recruitment, professional recruitment. You know, a lot of people see that arena as just a venue for concerts or sporting events or several other things. But it's really much more of a tool for us and a quality of life component. When companies are considering a community, things that are very important to them are the quality of life for their employees and for their professionals. So having that venue and having national known acts be there really makes Pikeville more attractive, perhaps in comparison to other companies or cities, excuse me, because of the facility that we have there. So it's really a benefit for Pikeville to have that facility.
Absolutely. We're excited to announce many shows and great events coming to the
Absolutely.
Or not to the Expo Center, to the Appalachian Wireless Arena. That's what Paul Bowles has also
That's right.
Joked about, that you're going to have to put $1 in a jar every time that you use the wrong name.
It'll be a hard habit to break.
It is going to be a hard habit to break, but certainly one that we'll get
Absolutely.
used to. Something else going on within the city that we have been very excited about is our new Appalachian Center for the Arts, the app as we refer to it. And it is a busy place.
You know, that facility, as we've talked in the past, has been primarily used as just a theater. Well, now that the city is taking that facility and the Expo Center, Appalachian Wireless Arena is managing it, it has really transformed into a much different venue. It's a place for concerts, a place for art shows and musical performances and just a whole range of things. It's a performing arts center or an arts center rather than just a venue for theater.
Right.
So Robin Irwin, the director there, is doing a fantastic job getting things booked. Paul Bowles is also. In fact, Paul booked the first concert for that facility, Confederate Railroad, which we had on May the 30th. And for the first concert in that venue, we were very pleased with the response that we had. It's a very intimate setting. You're able to converse with the artist, and there's a lot of dialogue between the crowd and those people. And actually, the artist there he would sing a song someone requested and then give them the pick that he used on his guitar. So it was really interesting and a great venue for that sort of thing.
Something totally different than what we have
Very
been used
different.
to, and just speaks volumes about what that facility is going to be able to be used as because of the intimacy and the smaller acts that you'll be able to get there. But really, like you said, really pleased with the first concert there, and I know there are many other events in the works for that facility. But the app has also formed an advisory board, and that is something that's going to be an integral part of how that facility is maintained.
Absolutely. When the city took control of that and leased that to the arena, we were very determined, I suppose, that we have an advisory board of people that are passionate about the arts in this region. So we've appointed, I think there's 10 members of the board. They've met twice now, and they are very much on the path to fundraising and promotion of the facility and really making it known and what it is and creating excitement for the facility. So the members there are very passionate about what they're doing, and we look for them to do great things.
Certainly so. One of the most exciting things that I've seen in recent days that concerns our youth is the formation of the Challenger Division of Little League. And this is something that speaks to so many different people. So tell us a little bit about that.
Right, the Challenger Division really came to us from Dan McNamee, one of our citizens in town. When he was in Bridgeport, West Virginia, he had seen this division there. And it's for physically and mentally challenged individuals. For kids 5 to 18 or even older if they are still in school. So the way that works is it's a baseball league, just like a Little League program. And there are buddies that work with the individuals, and they are typically kids that are playing in a Little League and playing baseball on a regular basis. There's 950 programs in 10 countries around the world, and every year there's over 30,000 athletes that participate in this division. So we're very much in the beginning stages, but that's a project that we're very excited about and glad to be able to bring that to the region. That's going to be, they will play their games at Bob Amos Park, adjacent to the track, and we believe that season will begin in August, the last week of August. So.
Yeah, it's something that we're very excited to bring to the members of our community, and certainly making sure that kids of all ages and walks of life are able to participate in something really, really fun.
Absolutely.
Tony Bartley is the person to contact for that. Of course, you can call the city offices, or it's on our Facebook pages as well.
Right.
That you can contact Tony. Let's talk a little bit about the Pikeville Community Foundation. This is something that is new, but certainly will take off, and we want everybody to understand and have a buy-in.
Right. A community foundation this community foundation is part of the Foundation for Appalachian Kentucky, which is based in Hazard, Kentucky, and it's been in existence for a number of years, from 2006, and to date they have over $10 million in assets. And those assets are with Community Trust Bank, so everything is very regional. The purpose of a community foundation is to serve the needs and the philanthropic aims of people in the community. So if someone has money that they want to donate to a cause, they can donate that to the community foundation, and it is structured so that you can specify how you want those funds spent. Now, it's not the money that you donate, it's the interest that accumulates on those funds over time. So we're really forming an endowment that is a permanent account that will generate interest over time, and then the board for that group will review grant applications and award grants every year. And I was saying that you can specify what you want your money used for. There's a number of people that are passionate about animal shelters or kids' recreation leagues, things of that nature. So that is really something that we are excited to have in the city. The city commission formed that group, and so we are now accepting donations. It's not a city organization. We needed someone to sponsor it, so the city sponsored it. It's governed by a totally private, independent board, and they've had their first meeting, so you'll be seeing more about that in the press and on Facebook, ways that you can donate, and just really we're in an educational stage now.
There have been some regulation changes going on that we do need to inform our community members about. Environmental nuisances is one thing that comes to mind when we need to let people know what's going on.
Right. We are very focused on the appearance of our community and the appearance of our property, because those things matter. Matter not just to our residents and our current businesses, but to the businesses that are considering locating in Pikeville. We consider those streets and properties along the streets really the front door to the community. So one of the things that we have done recently is we added a commercial nuisance provision in our ordinances, which allow us to enforce our code on a 24-hour basis. So if there's a business in town that is not complying with trash in their parking lot or even the lights that they have on their signs are not lit properly. We require garbage cans to be in the parking lots, things of that nature. So if they are not complying with that code, we can issue a citation every 24 hours until that is corrected with a fine. We have now extended that commercial code to our apartment complexes. That is an area of town that we sometimes struggle with compliance. And we can issue, under the residential code, we can issue a violation. You have so many days to clean that up. And then we stay in that process. If you clean it up, then the next thing we do is issue a violation with no fine, and you clean it up. Well, that's not really the goal of the program. The goal is compliance. And so we have modified our ordinance so that apartment complexes, condominiums, things of that nature are now subject to the commercial code.
Making sure everybody knows what's going on. Also, there is a component of that with the utility bills.
Right.
As they're sent out.
Yeah, absolutely. Our utility bills have always been payable on the 15th of the month. Well, it's no secret that our mail service has changed and is really takes longer to get things and send things. So we have modified that ordinance to allow payments on the 20th of every month. Now, in addition to that change, we are eliminating mailing delinquent notices. We have done that routinely, that if you haven't paid your bill by the 15th of the month at that time, then we would issue a delinquent notice to notify you that your bill needs to be paid or you'll be disconnected from service on the 1st of the following month. We have chosen not to do that any longer. If you haven't paid your bill. So we will be continuing to go around and put door hangers on your home or business to notify you. But as far as getting a delinquent notice from the city as a reminder, you're not going to get that.
This is also, too, an invitation to use the website to pay your bill on, and that is something that makes it a little bit easier. Sometimes takes a little bit of getting used to, but certainly you can go online to pikevilleky.gov, pay my utility bill,
Absolutely.
And take care of it within seconds.
Yeah, we make it as simple as we can.
Right.
You can go online. We have a drop box at City Hall that you can drop your payment in anytime. Our utility department is open 5 days a week, 8:30 to 5, and you can come by there and pay your bill. So there are a lot of avenues for you to comply with the payment deadline. So we have just, because of the expense of that, we've just chosen not to do that in the future.
Some projects are going on. There is never
Always.
a moment when there is not a host of projects going on. We're going to go through a lot of those things, but people see things happening and they always have questions about it. So
Absolutely.
one of those is the Kentucky Enterprise Industrial Park Access Road that will start very soon.
Right. Well, that project has been ongoing for some time, but we've been in a property or right-of-way acquisition phase. There were a number of property owners from which we needed to acquire property, and we have now done that. We have reached agreements with all of them and are in the final stages of signing deeds and making payments and completing those purchases. So as soon as that is complete, and there's a gas line that needs to be relocated that's the Sword Fork side of the road or Longview Drive. As soon as that is completed, we'll really see construction begin to ramp up there, and it'll become very visible, which is always good. We like to see progress. So construction is ongoing now,
Right.
But it's in the park, so it's not visible from US 23. But that should really be kicking off here in the very near future, and we're still on schedule to meet our September 2020 deadline.
The Pikeville Pavilion, where the farmers market is held and various other events, is going through a weatherization process, and this is going to make it a lot more user-friendly sometimes.
Absolutely. The market received a grant from USDA Rural Development, and the city is the conduit for that grant. And so part of the grant was for a weatherization program at the pavilion, and that is essentially some wind screens and to protect from sunshine, from wind, from dust. And we have awarded that contract to Commonwealth Construction, and the materials are ordered, and construction will be beginning very soon.
If you've not been, and I always say this, to the farmers market or to the pavilion, it is an absolutely gorgeous facility, and is a bustling place when there are events going on, especially farmers market, when it starts to get a little busier as the growing season changes. But this will certainly be something that will help have other events there.
Yeah, we are very proud of the pavilion.
Oh, yeah.
It was funded from Kentucky's Office of Ag Policy for the farmers market, but that facility is open for many other uses as well. You can make reservations on pikevilleky.gov. But like you were saying, the farmers market is a very bustling, busy place, and we're really glad to have that in the city. It brings a lot of people to town that might otherwise not be here.
It becomes a destination every
That's right.
Saturday, especially around the 1st of July
Very
when all those fruits and vegetables start to come in. Also, Huffman Avenue and Summit Drive drainage. This is something that we've talked about before because it creates such an issue right there at the intersection.
It does. We routinely are cleaning that intersection up after a large rain, but that project is going to impact both Huffman Avenue and Summit Drive during construction. We have awarded the contract for that project. Construction will be starting very, very soon, and traffic will be impacted. So just be careful as you drive through there, be cognizant that there's people working, and the project will be wrapped up before school starts in the fall.
Very good. A lot of people have been asking when they're traveling through town and look up on Ball-Mamis Hill at the overlook. There is a structure that has kind of just appeared out of nowhere there, and that is our event center that we're really excited about. But with the construction phase starting, a lot of people have questions.
Absolutely. We've fielded a lot of questions from people about what are these walls being built there, and that is the event center. And that is under construction. It should be open by the end of the year, but with the rains that we have and the delays that a lot of our projects are facing, we are not really booking anything until February of 2020. But the construction is ongoing now. There's utility work that's being done to extend water lines and sewer lines and move gas lines and electric lines, things of all those portions of the project. What you're seeing from US 23 is the retaining walls. And the retaining wall will protect the building, protect against slides, and then we'll have a very large deck that comes out over those retaining walls, and we'll have access to the overlook. One good thing is our building permit has been received now, and that's been a problem with some other projects just due to the backlog in Frankfort. But now that that's been received, we're really ready to go with construction. And we're excited about that facility. It's going to be a great addition.
It really is. And the event center is going to be just another component of the offerings that the city has for events. And it's not just for city events. I mean, this can be rented. It can have showers, birthday parties, weddings. I know that there'll be a ton of weddings there.
Absolutely.
But also as an addition to the expo center. So if you want a more intimate type space, the event center will certainly fit that bill.
Right. The event center is going to seat up to 350 people. With tables and chairs, and it will be a more intimate setting. It has a large commercial grade kitchen, so we can meet all your catering needs, and and it also has the patios and decks around the building. So it's like you said, it's going to be a great addition to what we offer.
And just to make sure everyone knows, they'll still be able to use the overlook.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's not going to go away.
Right.
It's just going to be a different way to get to it.
One of the concerns that had to be addressed was the ADA compliant overlook that was at the top level there. And we have provided for that through the decking around the building. That the deck will be open always except during an event, and there will always be a bathroom facility open in the building, which we provided both those things before, and we're meeting that need again. And then the overlook down a level is still there, but not accessible at this time.
Right.
That site is closed during construction, and although we've had a lot of traffic there, we do ask people to stay away. That's an unsafe location.
Right. You mentioned rain and weather that we have certainly been inundated with in the last few months, and it's caused a few slides. Let's talk about the Katy Street slide repair.
Right. When we had just several days of massive rains, I think that was in March, we had a number of slides around town, and Katy Street, which is the primary street that runs through the Cedar Gap subdivision, was severely impacted. near the intersection with King Lane, there was a very large slide. And then Summer Lane, which intersects Katy Street as well, there was a very large slide. So we have awarded the contracts for those two projects. The Katy Street slide repair is complete, aside from paving. Paving will be done when we pave the rest of our streets this summer. And work on the Summer Street has either commenced or will be in the very, very near future. Those are both very difficult projects. The slides were in areas where the slopes are very steep below there, and it's a long way to bedrock. And in order to fix that properly, you need to tie into the bedrock and remove the bad material and the material that's been inundated with water and has become very heavy and caused the slide. Okay. So all those things have to be removed and repaired in a very certain way. And it's a difficult project, but we'll get it done.
We're hoping for some dry days.
Very, very much so.
Very dry days. Our backway project is continuing.
It is. Yeah, our backway project has been a long story, but the plans have been submitted to the Transportation Cabinet. They have been reviewed once, and comments have been sent back, and we've revised and then resubmitted those. So as soon as that approval is issued to us, we'll be bidding the project. In fact, Transportation Cabinet has reviewed our contract documents that we'll sign with the contractor and approve those. So we're just waiting approval to issue the advertisement for bids, and we hope that happens very, very soon.
Also, our wastewater treatment plant, there's a project going on there.
Very much. That's been a long-term project, but we are nearing completion of it. That's another area we ask you to stay away from for construction, but the membranes, which are the largest portion of that project, the focus of the project, are currently being installed. So that will be, assuming we have good weather through the summer, that'll be wrapping up in the fall. Currently, the completion date is September 2019.
Our 2019-2020 capital budget has been discussed and in place, and there are certain things that I know we want to let everybody know that is in that budget.
Right. June 30th is the end of our fiscal year, so we're currently working on our budget for the next year. And one thing that we are very cognizant of and take great responsibility for is maintaining the facilities that we have. We do our very best to not let those fall into disrepair. So just a sampling of the projects in our capital budget, and this is nowhere near all of them, is repainting and rehabilitation of some water tanks in town. For this capital budget, those will be the Smith Hill tanks. So that project will be ongoing. There shouldn't be any impact on traffic or anything because they're kind of off to the side. But kind of along those lines, there are water and sewer lines that run below the Cedar Creek Bridge over US 23. And we inspect those every year, and there are some repairs that need to be done, and then they need to be repainted as well. So that project will happen this year. We talked about our environmental nuisance code earlier. We make a provision in our budget for dilapidated structure removal. So when we deem that your building is unsafe to the public, and we issue a notice of demolition on that structure, if you don't do it, we will. And that's part of our budget, so we include that. As everyone knows, we pave streets and stripe them every year. So there's a large fund for that, and our engineer is currently in the process of assessing all the streets and determining those that need to be paved this year. And then sidewalk repair as well. Melvina Drive Bridge on Chloe is an older bridge and needs to be replaced, and we have that project funded in this budget as well.
Always something going on.
Always. Yeah.
Which leads us to the events portion of what's coming up. We mentioned a lot of things going on at the app, and certainly Robin is all over Facebook telling everybody what's going on there, but let's quickly update some people on those events.
Right. The app has started a master class series, and the first series, or the first performance in that series is from the cast of Hamilton. And it'll be two individuals that have been in that cast for a while, and they're essentially doing a workshop where they're going to teach you the choreography of one of the dances in the show, and that's on June the 17th, and tickets remain available. You don't have to participate in the class. You can just watch if you want to. So those tickets are available. June 20th, 21st, and 22nd, UVA Wise is using our facility to provide Alice in Wonderland. And then one of the things that facility has always done is classes for kids. So, and we're continuing that. We call it the Academy at the App. And this summer there's 3 separate camps. One's for ages 5 through 8, and that's June 24th. Ages 9 through 13, and that's the first 2 weeks of July. And then ages 13 plus is July 15th through the 27th. So some of those, maybe a couple of those camps still have space available, others do not. And then our Main Street dinner is coming up June the 15th. So we're really excited about that.
One of the most beautiful events that happens in our city.
Very much so.
It's going to be the 15th. And then also, don't ever forget, Main Street Live goes on all summer long through September. So those dates are posted. And one of our first 5Ks has been scheduled, and that's Noah's Glow Run.
Right.
And that certainly is a fun event for kids and families to get together. I know we participated in that last year. It was my little girl's first one. She was all excited about her glowing shirt, and we do a great job with inflatables for the kids.
Right.
But it's really a good family event. And then of course our tourism it kicks off. 4th of July is coming up, and then of course the Paddle and Saddle is having their is in full swing as long as the river stays clean and nice. And then there's a horse camp going on for ages 5 to 12, and that will be June 10th and 11th. So we always say this, but there's never a lack of something to do.
Never.
If you're in the city of Pikeville.
Yep.
And always moving forward, always staying busy, and really the hub of everything that we have in the region. So good information today, lots of information. Yep. And of course, you can always go to the Visit Pikeville app that you can download on your smartphones. And if you have any need any information on booking events, PikevilleKY.gov is the place to go.
Yep, for sure.
Philip Ellswick, Pikeville City Manager, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you.
This has been the Pikeville City Manager's Report. Thank you so much for joining us.